man. The
long-awaited,
day of reckoning, the long-awaited,
highly anticipated.
The fall off is like Hole dropping a Reasonable Doubt last. What was it? What was the last name? Might delete later. You know what I mean, the warm up, the diss on, the 7-minute drill. Was the Port in San Antonio?
The Port of San Antonio, yep.
The apology.
Port of Antonio.
Port of Antonio, my bad, whatever it was. Cloud was the Cloud 9, whatever the shit was. Clouds. Yeah. We here. The fall off.
J. Cole has dropped his
double album,
24 songs, hour 40 minutes worth of music.
Extremely long. No, it is.
I mean, because nobody listens to that much music anymore, so it was a lot of music. But yeah, J. Cole finally dropped his album. Your thoughts?
Highly anticipated. So, I think the last time we saw this much hype for an album was from J. Cole was what? I don't know, maybe the off season,
probably the off season.
Yeah, probably the off season. So it's been a few years, and he dropped a few projects in between.
Yeah, what was that, 2022 or 21?
21.
Yeah,
21. So yeah, he hyped this up. He's the one that kept proclaiming that this was gonna be. I mean, nigga was saying I got 3-4 classics ready to drop at any given time. I rap better than everybody. I am the best. I am the greatest. He did the back and forth with Drake on First Person Shooter, and then they did the collab tour after that across the country. This was his moment.
Right.
This was his moment. I mean, great feature on Future's album, Red Leather. Amazing verse.
That was fire.
So went through the album, started listening. I mean, with intent ears, read through the lyrics as I was listening the first time. Make sure I understood everything he was trying to get across. This was a concept album. So he's telling the story about him going back home at the age of 29, which is the first disc. Then the second disc is him basically present day 39 years old and his mindset as an older, mature version of himself.
Right.
So, my first listen, I thought it had a lot of great rapping, some great production in the first half of this 29, and then you could start to feel how long the album was probably near the end of this one. It felt like some songs were unnecessary. They weren't bad, but it was like, I don't know if I'm hearing a classic right now. I wasn't blown away by some of the later songs, you know what I'm saying?
And all the songs are 3+ minutes long.
When you start getting to the Let Out and I don't know, man.
Bombs in the Ville.
Bombs in the Ville was cool. Lonely at the Top.
That was cool.
It was cool.
I rock with that one.
And then you go to a 6-minute intro, which is half melody, half rapping on 39 intro. It starts to feel a little draggy at this point, you know what I mean? And the tone changes in this too, where the beats it's a lot more of the first day one J. Cole fan type of beats where self-produced, sample, kind of riddle, you know what I'm saying, repeat, loop type of shit, and him just rapping his heart out about whatever topic it is. Could be him telling a story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Reminiscing of Home for the Holidays. If you remember, you know what I'm saying, that Friday Night's mixtape, that's one of my favorite songs. That whole disc too sounds like Home for the Holidays to me.
Okay.
And if you like that type of J. Cole, that's what you'll like. But for me, after the hype, it was cool.
It was cool?
It was cool. It was decent.
Ooh.
It was if you like J. Cole, you will probably like it. If you wanted to become a fan, this is the first project you heard by J. Cole, I don't think it would make you interested in the rest of his career that predated this.
Okay.
He's a great rapper. He never separated himself as being better than the big three in any way to me. He never had the verse of the year or the hip hop moment that stole the show. He never had the album that was head and shoulders above his peers.
Okay.
He just was always he's like a Carmelo Anthony type of dude. Great, all time great, but when you talk about the Bryans and Kobe's, it just wasn't in him. I mean, that's how I feel about this album, and I think this is representative of who he's always been in his career. He's never carried himself like he truly felt like he was the best. He says that because he probably believes that ability-wise, but to be the best comes with a whole lot more than just ability. You know what I'm saying? It comes with everything around being a rapper. You gotta have the bravado. You gotta be able to stand in the ring with a nigga. You gotta be able to take the backlash of saying the wrong shit and not apologize for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's just a lot of things that come with it. You got to be willing to be disliked by somebody. You know what I mean, when a nigga Jay-Z diss rapping like Common Sense, you got to be able to diss the backpack rappers and stand in what you think, but I can still be lyrical at the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
You got to do the same shit that Kendrick did with the last album. I can be West Coast. Yeah, I can rap too, but this is for my West Coast niggas right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's never done that to me.
Okay.
He just is not a standout guy, but he's a great rapper.
Did you ever like J. Cole?
Yeah, I listen to J. Cole. I think J. Cole makes very good music. My favorite project was probably Friday Night Lights and Born Center. I think that was probably the best version of J. Cole when it's a decent amount of melody and the rapping is not like, it's a subject matter. He's getting to a point.
He's getting to a point, yeah.
Like Born Center, I think is one of his greatest songs. I think that's, if you're gonna want to make somebody a J. Cole fan, Born Center, the actual song, is probably the best song I could probably think.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Nah, I feel you. I personally like the album. I'm a J. Cole fan. Now, don't get me wrong. To an extent, I agree with you where it didn't, as highly anticipated as this was, and the lead up to it, I think it should have been much better.
Much better.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you do have a 24 song album, it kind of drags, like you said, it drags out. It gets long, it gets convoluted. Some of the shit may start sounding the same. Right, exactly. Especially like, when you go back to the second disc where it starts getting into his older sound, where some of that shit did start sounding the same, even whether it was his flow or the production, one of them shit started to sound redundant after a while. Yeah. But I think it was a good album. Again, like you said, I think he's a great rapper. He can rap really fucking well. Yes. It's just, and I think that where he kind of falls short with the, when it comes to the Kendrick and the Drakes, is that, you look at somebody like Drake, where I may not be the greatest rapper, I may not be like if you let's say you put Kendrick and Cole at like A for rapping, lyrical ability, you may put Drake at a B, but then everything else may go across where you fall short at. And so that's the same thing with Kendrick, where Kendrick would be great lyrical, and I can put songs together, and then I can do both. I can switch up, or I can do both at the same time. With certain things, and then so I feel like J. Cole will have it where I think he's never got to the point where he said, "Hey, I really want to just lean more." Like for certain people, like Kendrick has never been a person that, damn, his rapping is just bad. Correct. When you look at Drake, sometimes you be like, "Yo, that's a bad verse." We don't want to hear that shit. Right. Kendrick's never been like a bad, so we don't hear Tatum line. Exactly. We don't hear a bad verse from Cole, but then you look at the music part of it. I've heard a bad verse from Cole. You heard of that Cash Cobain shit was horrible. I didn't take that serious. I didn't listen. I listened to that shit one time. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And that was in the middle of the beef, I believe.
It was. Yeah, that's why you got the fuck about it.
That shit was nasty.
But I'm just like overall.
Yeah, right.
And so, I feel like he never took that corner and said, you know what? Let me lean more into the music. Is to put out, so I can have that moment in hip hop. I mean, don't get me wrong, they had the moment with the first person shooter where you got your number one and Cool, and I guess that's what kind of like, the night of the beef, but you stepped out of it so that moment kind of faded away.
I mean, that was alongside Drake.
It was alongside Drake, but what I'm saying, like, that could have taken that moment and been his moment of, all right, now let me stand out and show that I can do X, Y, Z. And so I think that's where it kind of just, we back to just J. Cole being J. Cole. I'm rapping well. I have good songs, but I have good songs. I don't have great songs. I have good songs. and I'm gonna rap really well. Some of the shit may be like, this production could have been better. Like I've heard, I was on Instagram the other day, and one of the Instagram pages that takes the verse and mix it with a beat. Yeah. And some of this, he took two verses. He took the Bunch Roll Blues and put it on the Put On beat, the Jeezy and Kanye. And that shit sounded so much different because of how lively the production was. And so I think that's what happens sometimes where J. Cole kind of drowns out the music a little bit so you can hear it, so he can rap. Yeah. That's kind of like in the sense what Nas did. I mean, I don't think Nas picked the greatest beats.
Whoa. Let's be careful.
Hear what I'm saying? Because I mean, we know who Nas is, right? Okay. But this is now the 2026 of that. You know what I'm saying? When you go back to when you look at how when they was talking about how Nas didn't pick the greatest beats, like Nas is the greatest rapper, he doesn't pick the greatest beats.
I don't know. I think that's a little overstated, but sure, let's go with that.
Did you never agree with that?
I mean, made you look. Come on, man. The whole Illmatic, it was written. It's
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the overall, the thought process behind, up until, especially until the Hit Boy shit, for a long time, people were saying, hey, Nas didn't pick the greatest beats.
Affirmative action.
Listen, I'm not saying I necessarily.
Got your phone.
Hey man, I'm not saying I agree with that.
I'm
I like
telling
Nas.
you something, man.
I like Nas. Just same way I like J. Cole. But what I'm saying is that point of contention where people had with Nas and saying, hey, Nas may not pick the greatest beats. I feel like sometimes with J. Cole, he's doing that same thing, but then J. Cole also wants to be self-produced. And I'm like, hey, maybe you should go get with those other producers.
I agree with that. He definitely should have got with other producers.
Yeah,
like,
especially for this right here. I feel like somebody, whether it's like a Metro, because I feel like Metro can really, Metro's pretty diverse in sound to an extent. I feel like he could have got with that. Just one of those, just like kind of certain, I gotta think about it a little bit more, but like certain producers I feel could have like made it stand out a little bit more. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at you producing your shit, but you don't gotta produce every single thing.
I mean,
and it needs to stand out a little bit more.
Let's be honest though. With the style of music J. Cole makes, he has never had a good ear for what he should be received as far as his actual talent.
Okay.
He's A&R'ing himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's producing, he's structuring his bodies of work how he wants them to be, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for the talent that you have, you should be producing much more impactful, great sounding records.
Yeah.
Like, he rapped too good to not have certain classic cuts in your catalog, in my opinion.
No, I agree. There should be like that one, like take this for instance, right? Because I feel like Kendrick has a few of them shits, right?
Yeah, several.
Yeah, but let's take like more of the recent joint, right? And I'm not even talking about G-Nix. Take Like That. Like That was a dope track, I think, without Kendrick.
Yeah.
But Kendrick verse stood out so much that now you're looking at people when you go out, they're playing the Kendrick verse.
Correct, yeah.
Rather than playing the whole song. We know with Drake, you go out to a spot, you're gonna hear a bunch of Drake tracks.
Yeah.
I feel like Cole doesn't have. At this point in time, to me, Cole, with the amount of music he has, should at least have 5 tracks.
I agree. That
should be. There should be like there should be that 5-track list of where they play Kendrick, they play Cole. That should be in that realm of you got at least 5 of those tracks that's going. When it drops, you're like, oh shit, this shit was hard. And so I feel like Cole just has that. If you had a speakeasy on one of the lo-fi joints, that's what we playing the Cole.
Yeah, niggas is sipping and smoking cigars,
yeah, exactly.
pipes and some goofy shit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what are the songs that, like, if we had to tell the story of hip hop in history, what are the songs that, what year would J. Cole come and this is a song that encapsulate that time in history? I mean, like it's, we already know what Kendrick did last few, so we're not even gonna use him as an example. But we know what God's playing, and you know what I'm saying. It's so many Drake songs that we can even go to. You know what I'm saying. We're not even gonna go through the history of.
Yeah. It's too many. Almost.
We can do that with any other artist that got to that certain level. We know what Nas did. We know what Jay did. We know what Outkast did. Like, anybody you want to name, you know what fucking Wu-Tang playing, Cream and all that. What is the J. Cole songs that?
You know the Big and Pops.
The Big is easy money. What is the J. Cole music that we can play that's gonna be like, oh, this is what it was like in the 2010s when the rappers was doing what they doing. We gonna play Power Trip.
I was just about to say that.
Power Trip, but that's heavily carried by Miguel. No disrespect, not carried, but that hook is so phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It kind of unless you're to me, that's one of those things where
50-50
you have to be a rap fan so you can know his verse, or you just and not to be that person, but like when you're out and you're looking at like women, they know the hook.
Correct.
You're not out here for the verse.
Maybe of course no role models.
No role models, but how often am I playing
comparing that shit to? I mean, come on, man.
You can't compare that to God's
like us and come on, this shit is ridiculous. TV off and we gonna be alright. It's like,
but that's what I'm about to say. If you look back, you take out this year or this past year or so for Kendrick still has a lot.
See, like this catalog, just come on, bro.
And see, the problem is with certain songs, like, don't get me wrong, I think Wet Dreams was a great song, but you're not playing that outside.
Yeah.
That's not a moment of that people are playing it. Oh, we out and we're playing this.
In the Morning is one of them ones, but that's a Drake feature.
It's a Drake feature, and how often do you hear that?
Yeah,
you have to have the DJ to play that. You know, that's where I think that's where they separate themselves, is because no matter what, you're gonna hear the Kendrick song, you're gonna hear the Drake song, you're gonna hear the Jay song, you're gonna hear a Nas song, you're gonna hear.
Because if we in that era, like DJs have sets and they go through certain eras that they trying to get the feel of the crowd. If it ain't the hottest shit right now, they're gonna take you through a New York set or 2000 set or it's the City Girls era or some shit. J. Cole doesn't really represent that era that much. You have to bring up the big three when you bring.
Yeah, because if you bring J. Cole, if you do play J. Cole, now you got to play everybody. You got to play them. It's not like, you know, like you going to places, right? Especially during the height of this beef, where I remember hearing a bunch of Kendrick and not hearing Drake.
Not hearing Drake, yeah.
I've heard a bunch of Drake and not heard Kendrick.
Right, man.
I feel like there's not going to be a time where I'm going to hear a bunch of Cole without hearing either one of them.
Yeah, and this is not even specific to like a club or whatever.
It's just where it's whatever
venue it is,
yeah.
whatever the situation is. He doesn't really have, and he makes. And you might play a lot feature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might catch him on a feature, even when Thug was going crazy and the London shit was amazing. But Cole himself, he just might be one of them rappers that it's a Carmelo Anthony thing. You know what I'm saying? You had to be there to remember how great he was, because he just never separated.
He was always that. He was always looked at like, you're the second best.
Yeah.
You know, you're the second best. You're in the top, but you're not. You haven't been number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's looked at like, you looked at T-Mac. You know, yo, you're fucking amazing, but you're not Kobe.
Not Kobe. Yeah.
You can do everything in the world you can do, but you're not Kobe.
And I even felt like Cole had the opportunity to be Allen Iverson, but not enough risk, man. Like you say, you got to link up with other producers for that.
And I think that's exactly
what happened. That influence is crazy. Like your style of rapping, that lyrical, you are the face of lyrical rap when it comes up. But we got to play a song where we can, you know what I'm saying, we can hear that.
Yeah, and not only that, you have to. This song, it has to be a song. We can't just hear you rap.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we have, I feel like we have enough people that
don't do freestyle. Like, it's not legendary freestyle moments anymore. So.
Exactly. And again, you know, we missed that time of, you know, from the 90s to that early 2000s. You know, you even go to 2010 or 12 where Wayne had his freestyle running and shit like that. But you have to have, you don't fall into that set. Unless you're just straight up doing, and again, you know, even when he did that birthday Blizzard joint, before tracks.
Yeah, right before.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was cool, but you don't fall into that era of when they was putting out the best freestyles from. And you remember, you had everybody doing freestyles, and you know, you want to talk about people who was rapping. Niggas was rapping back in the days when it was early time. You know, the Jay-Z's, the Nas, the B, all of them niggas who rap. And hey, they may not make good music, but these niggas who rap, they have some of the most. You look back and be like, yo, these niggas have the most legendary freestyles, mixtapes ever. Cole, you kind of fall into, like, I look at it like where Wale may even have that.
Wale has joints.
He has a bunch of joints where they still play that. Not so much, but at one point in time, Big Shawn had that where they was playing his songs. Yeah. You know, it's very rare that, you know, again, we hear that Cole song, unless it's like you said, we might hear Adorn. Is that Adorn?
No, that's not. That's All I Want.
All I Want Is You, Power Trip. May hear those, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, even when they did play First Person Shooter, that was
short-lived. That was a fake. It's a fake number one, man.
It was.
It was a fake number one.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm a fan of J. Cole. He can rap. He's a great rapper, fantastic rapper. I like his music. I think he makes good songs. But, now don't get me wrong. I do think that like maybe Poor Thing may play.
I like the second half.
Yeah, Who the Fuck Is You? Yeah, that might, and I like the first half just because of how he was rapping.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with that. Those might be maybe old dog. I don't know, but you know, but those songs like, give me that moment. Now, don't get me wrong. He still supposedly has another album that he was supposed to drop before.
It's a boy.
Yeah, but that's supposed to come back. So I mean, maybe that might have something. It might change the thought, but right now he doesn't have it.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Well, I ain't gonna say disappointing. It's underwhelming. It's still a good body of work, but it's just not something that it wasn't a Clips moment to me where it's something I want to revisit over and over and play again and have on repeat. I listened to the album a couple of times, so I sat with it. I don't love it. Like it don't take me to the moment I first heard it when I go back and listen to those songs. It's just not a standout to me. Like I even thought Mike Delete Later had better standout songs. Like some of the verses, the rapping is you just felt it because it was like I think a surprise drop if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, this was like I think because the hype. If he didn't have all the extra hype for it, maybe it'd be received.
Had he not been teasing it for mad long, and he just like, hey, yo, this is my last album, cool. It might be received different. Like right now, I think I might, for me, and I mean it's a lot of fucking music, but with all of it, I think I may give it an 8. But
never, ain't no way in hell. Go ahead.
But I like a lot. I like a lot of the songs. It's just I don't know if how much I'm replaying it because I have to go back and pick out these songs that I like because of how much music it is.
There ain't no way in hell that's an 8 out of 10.
What you give it?
6.5 out of 10. Yeah. It's probably maybe somewhere mid to lower in this whole catalog. It's discography. So.
Ooh. Okay.
I mean,
really.
Yeah.
That low for you?
Friday Night Lights is up there. Born Center is up there.
Of
course, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That's his undeniable classic. I mean, the warm up, off season was good. Yeah, and then you can probably fit it in somewhere around there.
Okay. And to me, the off season was great. That's a good album.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good album. The production on there was better. There was a lot of
still ain't got no standout songs in that motherfucker either.
You know what's crazy about that? Yeah, because I mean, I'm thinking
last
like and. To me, that joint with that 95 South where he has Cameron talking on the fact that beat was hard, but it still hasn't. It didn't give me that. It like died off, like it just like started off. Yeah, Jay. I just think that you need to. Cole, you just gotta give us a moment, though. I think you still have the chance to. I mean, if you
had plenty of times to, man.
He did. I still think
he's in damn near.
I still think he has the chance to, but I mean, it's like.
Yeah, he still got time. I mean, you never know. It ain't like he rapping bad or literally falling off. But I just think he is who he is at this point in his career. He's unless he wants to get real free, like he gave us everything he wanted to give us, and now he can actually
now he gonna be somebody and do that shit. Yeah,
it's a possibility for sure. So I wouldn't put it past.
So that could be the whole.
Could be
that whole like the rebrand or whatever. Like hey, I'm not J. Cole anymore. Well, at least the J. Cole that you know. Now I'm this person.